until someone else joins the conference.
Trying to be slick over here. You did? Awesome. We were just over there. I just spoke for a Goodman group over there. Kentucky, Louisville, Cleveland for like a week. I was out there. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, fill that out. Fill out that half sheet, you guys.
We just started actually like maybe a month ago, trying to figure out how to get on top of Google. Everything.
You came
to put any money there.
You came to the right class.
Exactly. Something to lay downstairs yesterday. That's exactly what we're looking for.
You came to the right class. Yeah, make sure and fill that out. Did you fill that half sheet out downstairs?
What I'll do is I'll take it. You'll fill it out.
Okay. It's easy. Yeah, fill it out. We I've probably spoke to about 3,000 people in the last 60 days that have raised their hand. So star it, something.
That's a lot of damage. That's what they were talking about. I said, if I ain't gonna know anything, I said, I immediately go to Google. That's what I do. I search it, research it from there. I said, that's your sort of way we're here.
All right, this presentation is over. He just hit the... Come on in, slide up front. Exactly. Slide up front, slide up front. Come on. Vámonos. Don't sit in the back. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't sit back there. Don't do it. Don't do it. There he goes. I'm going to call your mom. You guys come on up front. That's what I'm talking about. Good job. Come on in, slide up. Got a couple more seats up front. Got 2 over here, 2 right here. This room's going to be packed. They're going to sit in the back anyway. You guys ready to rock and roll? Yeah. It's about that time. Let's do this. You ready? All right, fantastic. You guys, thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate your time. You having a good time? Yeah. This is like vacation for you? Where's the umbrellas? Fantastic. I'm Jennifer Bagley. I'm the CEO of CI Web Group, and I have Michael Hicklin, COO of CI Web Group, in the back of the room. And you guys may have met Miss Kathy Marshall, who is native Texas. She comes with the twang, and she's downstairs at the table. CI Web Group is the preferred digital marketing company for Amana and has been working in HVAC for about 10 years now. It was kind of on accident, but now y'all just don't go away. So our team was founded in 2006. Actually, today is our 10th year anniversary. I'm so happy. So you guys, we have about 110 people spread across the world, throughout the United States as well as abroad. And we run 6-day clock, 3 shifts. It's a lot of hours. Mike and I spend our time traveling and doing presentations, trainings, workshops, speaking events. I think we've slept in our own bed probably how many times since October? 10? Okay, I think 10. It feels like 4. So it's exciting to be here. You guys, today we're going to talk about digital marketing. Really, it's this is all about profits, bottom line. You know, how do you guys increase your revenue? And primarily, how do you raise those profits? So we're going to cover two topics today that I could technically talk on for about 8 days straight without a breath. There goes the monster. First one is the framework. This is the infrastructure of your business online. And the second is the engine, which is how do we make this thing run? Okay? You guys, this is a complicated topic. So it's quite possible you leave with a headache. Just breathe in, exhale, rub your earlobes, woosah, something. There's a lot of information we need to cover in a short amount of time. First, we'll make it real simple. Forget about owning a company. How do you buy? You're just mom, dad, husband, wife, homeowner. How do you buy? If you need something, what do? You go Amazon, Prime, Fresh, Now. I'm all of them. Okay. What do? You Google it. What do you do? What do you do? Research. Where?
Internet.
Perfect. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Why do we still check our mail and look at the half-sheet flyers to see what our competitors are doing? What do you guys do when you go to the mailbox? Where's the first stop? What is it? Speak up. Trash? All right. Where are you from? What, East Coast? Okay. Where's my West Coast? Have any West Coast in here? No. That's why I didn't hear recycling. Gosh. No Birkenstocks, no recycling. I can stand in any audience, and it's so funny because just different places. Yeah, the West Coast is funny. You guys, I can ask thousands of audiences from everywhere around the states. How do you buy? What do you do? It boils down to two things. One, people go online and they do a search. Two, they get a, want to guess? Referral. And then they go online and do some research. In the last 12 months, how many of you have made a purchase? You are not a previous client of this company, brand, product, or service, but you made a purchase because of a flyer, door hanger, television ad, radio ad, brochure, or a billboard. Anyone raise your hand? Look around. Okay. I'm still getting about 1% of an audience that's saying that they've made a purchase from any of those vehicles. How many of you have done any of those things to market your own business in the last 12 months? This is an oxymoron, right? So, technology is changing the way that consumers research, the way they buy, the way they research, everything. 4 years ago, I was standing on stage and I was talking about these devices we need to prepare for. Google was coming out with a requirement that said all websites must be mobile responsive, not a mobile version, not when you have m.my website, but mobile responsive. How many of you have a smartphone? Fantastic. 2 years ago, I was talking about we need to prepare for these fancy, I left mine upstairs charging. Where's your watch, Michael? We need to prepare for those, okay? Watches, one of the largest technology sales on Amazon 2 years ago. What sold this year? One of the highest technology devices sold on Amazon this Christmas. Alexa. Who has an Alexa? Oh, I love her. Okay, let's not go. She's not the CIA.
Sure, she's not.
Good night. Luckily, I don't care because I'm not doing anything they need to pay attention to. But she does turn on my lights, order our pizza. She does our Christmas shopping for us. She does everything. She does everything. Here's the reality. The number of people that have Alexa in their home and office that are now doing a query that is a voice search saying, Alexa, tell me the best HVAC repair company in, give me a city, Dallas, with the best reviews online. That is a long query. And her search is different than somebody going to a computer and typing in AC repair Dallas. Make sense? We have to prepare for this because the way consumers buy, it's changing. Alexa is not the only AI device now. Now on a Mac, you can talk to your Mac and ask it anything you want. Is voice query different when you're talking to your computer? Is it different than typing something in? Substantially, okay?
What about if you do voice search on your phone?
Voice search on your phone is different as well. So your voice search on your phone, if you're talking to a device, your language is going to be different than if you're typing. You're going to use stop words, you're going to use does and is's and ands and longer sentences, longer phrases. The way we feel technology is changing, it feels like this. Maybe you guys remember the cell phone size of a boot. It wasn't that long ago. I grew up with a coder. My dad was a programmer. I remember him building the first 2D video game is in Wikipedia, Mabel's Mansion, and secondly, Ape Escape. Wrote the first check writing software. It wasn't that long ago. In reality, this is what's happening with technology and how it's changing how consumers buy. We need to catch up. So we love the fact that your industry now takes up like 90% of our business because it's pretty easy to compete. The industry as a whole is pretty far behind. Contractors in general, as far as digital marketing goes, prior to focusing on contractors, we did everything from celebrities and politics and athletes, legal, medical, real estate. Those are different. That's heavy competition. That takes a significant budget and a lot of time to be able to crack that ceiling. But in your industry, you guys can compete, and you can compete really quickly with not a huge investment. The fundamentals of digital marketing, they boil down to four things. One, it's your website, it's your home base. It's essentially you, online. What does it look like? Is it professional? Is it educational? Does it look like you have experience? Does it look like you know what you're talking about? Is it easy? Is it easy for consumers to find what they need? Is it easy for Google to organize? Next is content. Number one least budgeted for item, but it's as important as your ability to speak. If you or I stop talking, if I just stand here and blink, how's it going to go for the next hour? That's you won't have a headache. Okay, so content is critical. It's your voice, it's your ability to be heard, to be found, it's your ability to speak, but it has to line up with what a consumer's looking for in order for it to have any weight. Finally, it's marketing. A website alone is not going to do it. The best a website can do on its own is help you convert more of that referral business that you get. If somebody happens to just get to your site, look at your site, and immediately feel like they can trust you. Do you think consumers feel uncomfortable hiring contractors for things they know nothing about? They feel about the same way you guys feel about hiring companies like mine. How do you trust them? What questions do you ask? How do you know they're telling you the truth? How do you know this is a reasonable expectation, a good investment? Those are hard questions. Consumers feel the same way. It's identical. Frustration, do any of these look familiar? I'm not getting enough leads. My website doesn't show up in the search result pages on page 1. It's not mobile responsive. It's old. I don't like the design. I can't make changes. Somebody else owns it. That's a problem. So on a side note, don't let a marketing company ever buy your domain name for you. Ever. Don't let them set up your Google accounts for you. You set them up, give them access. You set them up, you give them permission. But don't let them buy that for you. I've seen too many companies that have literally had to start over because that's how a web company tried to keep them. Anybody seen that? Yes. It's missing major functionality, like sign up for maintenance, apply for financing, calculate your savings, check out our reviews, schedule service, schedule maintenance, get an online estimate. All of the primary functions that consumers are looking for when they land on an HVAC site. Everything in this process is about doing the right things in the right order at the right time. It's one of the biggest mistakes I see, probably because you guys have salespeople coming in to talk to you, not strategists, not people that know how to run and build businesses, buy and sell companies. They know how to build the bottom line of a business. They all have something they've been trained to sell. They stand in your office, sell it like it's the blue pill. Right? There's no blue pill. There's no blue pill. How many of you have had Google call you? Yeah, Google will never call you. Those are scams. If you want to get or watch an interesting video, you can just you can Google Google calls Jennifer Bagley. I record them when they call in on video. I ask them hard questions. They ask me to take them down, but we have to do the right things in the right order at the right time. If I go invest in search engine optimization on a website that can't be optimized, am I burning through cash? It's not that SEO doesn't work, it's that I invested in a website that shouldn't be optimized. Can't be. Maybe it's bad code, old website, don't have the right content. If I invest in pay-per-click, but I don't have a landing page to drive them to specifically about that phrase, AC installation, AC tune-up, AC maintenance, AC service, AC replacement, with a promotion that's geared towards that, I'm burning through money. First, we have to have clarity. Where do you want to go and where are you? I can't give you directions from my house if I don't know where you are. So when you come to these classes and you stand up and you listen to some twit teach you how to tweet, right? Should you do it? Sure. Now, probably not. It's probably not a priority right now. There are a ton of marketing activities that, should you do them? Sure, that list is big. You guys have a 12-step roadmap to achieve accelerated results on your table. That list is big, but it's got to be done in order, or it doesn't work. Imagine getting pennies on the dollar for your investment. First is design. So we have to have clarity and a purpose. What's our goal? That purpose, we have to think in the future. I learned the hard way with you guys. My first 2 years doing HVAC, second year in business with HVAC, and we had clients calling us saying, turn it off. Turn it off. I was like, this is SEO. I can't turn it off. It's not pay-per-click. Why were they saying turn it off? They didn't have the staff. Everyone in here should have a website with a sign on it that says we're hiring. 24/7, 365. Collect resumes. Collect them. We need a pool of them. So you're constantly managing resources, resource leveling, marketing. It's all tied together. It can't be left one without the other. Next, design. First impressions matter. I'll show you some designs. Development, you have to have the proper coding. Guess how long coding lasts in a website these days? That's about it. A couple of months. In our industry, they're not doing websites as projects anymore. In our world, they're doing something called growth-driven designs, which means you have a budget for a website. Your website's always evolving. Technology is always changing. It's always keeping up. It's just part of your monthly budget. For HVAC, we're just trying to get you on a 2-year regimen. Don't let that thing go longer than 2 years. So we call it a refresh plan. Every 2 years, you get a new website, new technology, you stay up to date. Problem is, if you don't, if you're investing in marketing activities and you have a website that's built well, over time, the website starts to decrease in value because it's not meeting Google's requirements, technology standards, new devices, search engine requirements. So your dollar starts to devalue itself. Make sense? All right. Next, content, critical optimization, which is labeling. And finally, we got to get people to take action. Anybody ever hired Bob to do their website? The guy. Yep. So, mothers don't give birth to these ones in one body. And you can't properly build a website without all of them. A designer, they use a system called Photoshop. They're creative. They have friends. They dress nice. Their house is decorated. Real friends. They're people, not just AK-47 they hang out with Friday night on IRC Online. Developers, their garage is a physical office space. Friday night, they're hanging out with people. None of them have real names, but they know them well. You can often see them in ripped jeans, Birkenstocks, possibly a Heineken, and some techno music. They think different. If they were to build you a website, it's not going to be pretty. If a designer builds you a website, it's not going to have a brain. Neither work. An engineer. Anybody know an engineer? What are they always doing? Calculating, researching, analyzing. Do they make decisions quick? Do they guess? Sometimes. No, they don't guess. If you try and get them to try and force them into a guess, they're going to bow out. They're the ones that understand the math, the data. They make calculated decisions based on real data, not feeling, not perception, not like a designer. I feel good about it. A writer, in your guys' world, do I have an engineer? Oh, I see actually how she's sitting. So, I can actually tell you what kind of cars they drive. I can tell you how they all act in an airport. They're all similar. Okay. So, writers, your guys' industry, your business is different. And I feel bad. I probably have thousands of videos that are on the internet that are talking about the fact that digital marketing is the same regardless of business. Yours is different, and I apologize. You guys have two different companies that is affected by God, depending on the weather. Two different businesses for 50% of the year or 25% of the year, depending on where you are. If you're in Florida or you're in Texas or you're in Washington State, your business is different. You have seasons, you have weather. You have an entirely different slew of products and services depending on the season. Oh my. These content writers have to know how to write for HVAC. They have to know how to write for consumers. They have to know how to write for Google, as well as conversions. They're hard to find, and it took us years to find them. Now, competitive advantage, first thing out of the gate. We're going to talk through a ton of different competitive advantage. When you get to a website, the home page and top half of the website, which is called above the fold, must include who you are, what you do, where you do it, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, how to reach you, what other people think about you, and can they leave you feedback? Without those items, if we make anybody hunt, it's an exit door. They will potentially leave. Functionality that's going to help people stick around on a site. Problem with building a beautiful website, people don't stay long. They make a decision quickly. That doesn't help with SEO. We need them to stick around. Things like a troubleshooter. Having the consumer have the ability to go to your website and troubleshoot a problem, hopefully. If it's a breaker they need to flip or a battery they need to put in a thermostat, it's a heck of a lot better to let them fix that themselves, and you go do a service call, send them an invoice, and you get a what kind of review? Not good. People don't like doing that. We've seen a ton of cases where somebody will go to the site, they'll click on the scheduling system, book an appointment, and within 40 minutes, they'll go to the troubleshooter, figure out they need to flip a breaker, need to put in a battery, and then they'll send in a cancellation and say, I need to cancel this appointment. I used your troubleshooter. I was able to figure out what the problem is. Thanks so much. I bookmarked your site. Do you know how hard it is to get a person to bookmark an HVAC site? It's not like it's cool, right? You're gonna read it on Saturday on your morning blog read. So, very important. The ability to use the website to help sell. SARE calculator. Be able to calculate savings for high efficiency systems. To be able to talk about the tax credits that are coming up. It is tax season. What kind of high efficiency tax credits are available? Energy rebates, manufacturer rebates, discounts, promotions, all in one shot. What kind of financing offers? We have to package this up and we've got to sell it. We have to sell the value, the options, the flexibility. The consumers on the other end of the script, a lot of times they're women. And when you go to a website that's filled with equipment and technical terms, they check out. What do most women care about? Do they want to know how much you know or how much you care? Come on, men. I know you got husbands. You figured it out one time. Right? They want to know how much you care. So making a site personal, showing that trust, showing that you care. It's not all about the technology. You guys, the person sitting in the back, here's the reality. My toes are freezing when I'm watching TV in the lounge. My nose is cold when I'm in my bedroom. My husband has sleep apnea and he snores like a banshee. My kids have allergies and we've got this new puppy for Christmas. They have real problems, but it's not air conditioning installation in blank. Okay, so we have to meet both, all right? Testimonials, specials, services, offers, making sure that they can easily connect with an image of your truck. This is not a website, this is snapshots, pictures of the site. We'll show you the full site. For our business, we have to remember this. This is my business coach, who's a coach to the top 500 CEOs in the world, Tony Jerry. Says, without clarity, we cannot focus. Without focus, we cannot execute. Without execution, we cannot win. We got to have complete clarity. What do we want? How are we going to get there, and focus on those activities that are going to get there? They're called high leverage activities. And then we need to execute, measure our results, and be willing to tweak it as we go. Production before perfection. We got to get this thing to market, and then we got to get the data. You guys have different purposes. Sometimes it may be new client acquisition. Everybody's different. I've had companies that have purchased other businesses, worked the heck out of that database, and then been drowning because there's no more business. They didn't focus on new client acquisition. I have clients that have focused all on new client acquisition and have just completely missed the boat on their entire existing and past database. Their data is sitting in QuickBooks. They don't have email addresses. They're not in a system. They're not staying in contact with them. They're not upselling them on future services. They're not even asking questions at the table for future sales. When I sit down with the client, it's not about what you need today. It's about what are you going to need in the future as well. Keeping that data. So when it's 70 degrees, windows are down, hair is blowing in the breeze, you guys have trucks in your driveway, we've got some work to do. We have new opportunities we can go back to. Make sense? All right. Might be hiring staff, providing education. This saves time. More educated consumers on the way in the door. Easier sell, especially if they have an analytical mind. Might be building a list for those rainy days, 70-degree weather. Right? Existing customers, branding, or to reduce labor. How to leverage technology to convert time to cash. That's another series that we have. These technology pieces, they can often replace people. They can often do the work of what somebody has to do. If you can give minutes back to the staff you have on your team, does that help improve your profitability? Because you can have them focus on other high leveraged activities, other things that are revenue generators. Priorities are pretty simple. Get found, engage, and convert. Get found, engage, and convert. We have to build as many funnels as we can. Why? Because the funnels change. You can't rely on one way of getting business on the internet. Stuff changes. Anybody on Yelp? Anybody figure out their algorithm yet? That's actually a sore spot. Okay. There are some huge changes that are happening. I'll show you a couple of them before we get out of here, but we need multiple funnels. We need as many as we can. Web, search, social, local, email, mobile, video. I can keep going. We can't do it all at once. What we can do is sustainably build on top of each other. We can continue to add. All right. This is our program. It's called the 12-Step Roadmap to Achieve Accelerated Results. This is technically the best order we can put things in. First, your website. Second, your content. Third, you got to have a CRM system. You have to have a place on your website. Somebody can go, they can schedule an appointment, request an appointment, and that data goes into a database, not into your email. You can't sift, you can't sort email. You're never going to, your intentions are good to move it into a database. It doesn't happen. But that data is critical. Guys, 1,000 days from now, we're going to have my son that's either our competitor, our potential client, our customer, our employee, God forbid our employer. They come with data. They come with databases, networks, big networks, and they can make big changes. We have to think about that. Anybody have teenagers? Yeah? They're different, aren't they? But you have a teenager that is on Facebook. What is Facebook to teenagers? For what? Who's it for? Old people, right? I asked them about email. They said, that's for dead people, Mom. Yeah. Like, really? Who does that? We have an entire generation that decides they're no longer going to communicate during using a specific device. They all move to a new device, and if you don't move with them, you're out. That's next. Okay? So, Local listings. Remember when Dad said, if they're not in the yellow book, it's not a business. Or then that was how it worked. Now there's 70 of them. They're called local business directories, and we need to be in all of them, and our data needs to be perfect. Perfect. Google is using that data to validate the authenticity of your company, along with your domain registrar information, if the information is off. Your company name is different, your phone number is different, your address is different, there's bad information on there, you're out. This is also one of the quickest ways that one of your competitors can go set up a listing with your company name, your address, and their phone number. Happily answer your calls. And you'd never know if you weren't monitoring it. Those local listing companies, they all charge money to get on top. We buy them in bulk for $200 a month. We set up all 60, all 70. We manage them, we optimize them, we monitor all the reviews, give you real-time notification if any review comes in, and anybody that tries to snag your account, we suppress the listing, the duplicate, so you don't have to worry about it. Reviews, critical. Those little stars, bling bling, mean everything. Every company in here should not go through this season without coming home with a review on every deal. Every time you're in someone's home or someone's office, it's got to be a goal. There are systems that make it easy. There are only 2 review systems that actually allow you to get the review on site and to showcase that review on your website in a format Google can crawl it and sees it as new content, which I'll show you. That's hot. It's a big deal. It'll help you get found in different areas. Search engine optimization. Essentially, it's the process of getting pages on your website moved from the back of Google to the front of Google. Blogging shows your current. Google cares about 3 things. Are you relative to what the consumer is looking for? That's your content. Are you current? That's the frequency of new content being posted on your site. That's why a blog is critical. And are you trusted? That is reviews, social, local, and engagement. Next, social media, necessary evil. You got to do it. That's where people want to know. Are you there? Are you public? Are you transparent? Can I get in touch with you? And there are too many people that if they can't find that or the information is outdated, if you go right here, if you go to somebody's Facebook page and last time they posted content was 2014, what do you think the company is? Okay, what else? Closed. They're out. So we got to make sure it stays consistent. That's step 1. Within each one of these, there's 12 steps within them. Next, pay-per-click and landing pages, then video, email, and mobile apps. Those are later. Not yet. We got to get the core infrastructure done. We got to get the basics done, then we can move on. This is cool. You guys have a wicked opportunity right now. There is a new coding structure called schema. That is for HVAC, where we have the ability to code a website to showcase your cumulative number of reviews across all sites and your stars on every page of your entire website. You guys have done a search, right? And you've seen the 10 organic listings pop up below the maps. Do you usually see stars? What if you're the only one with them? Who's getting the business? This is the one thing that is literally changing the conversion rates, regardless of where you're placed, as long as you're on page 1. On the left-hand side, I have 2 listings, same company. It's on page 1 of Google directly below Home Advisor. On the right-hand side, I have same listing with the stars. Guess which one gets the click? Regardless of placement. The one on the right-hand side is getting the stars. Here's the thing. Most agencies are not doing this yet because it's expensive to find a coder that knows how to do it first. Secondly, Google hasn't set the rules and parameters for this yet, so there is a window of opportunity if you like to play the same games I like, okay? And third, there's not enough people doing it, so it's still very relevant to consumers to be able to win the business. If everyone on there had stars and ratings, is it going to have the same impact? It's not going to. You guys have a huge window of opportunity to be able to showcase your site for primary search phrases with the stars and convert the business. But it won't last forever. It'll be something new. It's always something new, okay? So in a traditional search engine rank environment, page 1, position 1 gets 18% of the clicks, position 2 gets 10, position 3 gets 7, 4, 3, anything below position number 5 on page 1 of Google, it's 2 or 1% of the business. Anything on page 2 gets zip, zero, zilch. This is the only thing that is changing those numbers. This is my messy slide. Oh, I have a crazy G. You see it?
Yeah.
I really want to fix it. It's bothering me worse than a crooked picture. Okay, don't look at that. Okay. You have 2 ways to invest your money. Left side, burn and churn. When you take cash and you spend it on something, and if you stop spending, you have nada. Right side, compounding interest impacts on your business. If I create a piece of content, I put it on the internet, and I optimize that, the longer that page exists, the more money it makes me over time. The longer it's there. If I do a TV show and I stop spending, what do I have? Next year, nothing. Okay? Right. Okay? If I do a video like this one back there, if you turn around and wave. You ever woke up and said, I wish there were more of me? Wish I could duplicate myself? You can. It's that little machine back there. If I take this video, slice it and dice it into 10 different videos, I get a different title for each one of them, drop them in YouTube, throw them on my website, put them in our social media accounts, put them on autopilot, let them spin for the next 10 years. What do I have 10 years from now? More what? More views, more traffic, more conversions. The videos I did from years and years ago are still producing business today. Now I have to convince them why what I said is dead wrong now because of my industry. However, they're still generating leads and opportunities. The oldest pages. I want that dollar you spend to be used on something that's going to provide compounding, permanent impacts on your business. Not just burning and churning through cash looking for the next way to make my phone ring. When you get there, it's a different game. Search engine optimization, it is simple. Content, properly optimized, and play the popularity game, which is link building and social and sharing it on your social media sites and so forth. And a little bit of time, you can achieve accelerated results with any page on your site. Let me pause on this for a second. So, I'm going to grab, here's the website I was showing you. Okay, so these guys, Tobias, how long did Tobias go live? Three months? 2 months ago? Okay, so for this site, little things to pay attention to. Again, who we are, what we do. You guys, I've seen your sites. I go look at them constantly. Sometimes it'll say cooling. People don't look for cooling. That's an industry term. People look for AC repair, AC service, AC installation, AC maintenance, AC replacement, AC tune-up, AC pricing, AC costs, AC, okay, best HVAC installer, air conditioner installation in blank. If you don't have a page of content, there's nothing for Google to put in the drawer. So it's not that SEO doesn't work. You don't have the content, it's not optimized, so it won't rank. This site went from nothing. So for example, these page titles, when Google is looking at a website, it's looking at the title of the site. It's looking at your URL string right here. So think of it like a filing cabinet. You guys seen Bruce Almighty? Okay, he's standing in the warehouse and he's got this file drawer in there and he was like, anything you've ever thought, anything you've ever said, anything you've ever done is in this drawer, right? That's Google. So when you go do a search, and I search for this phrase, there are 222,000 pages in this phrase. If I take this out, there are 438,000 pages in this drawer. If I change air conditioning to AC, there are 105,000 pages. If I have a page called air conditioning, How many do I have? Not a good day. How about cooling? Million. How about our services? Most every page on almost every HVAC site is considered a junk drawer page. Goes into a drawer just like this. Home, about, our services, FAQ, contact us, mission, cooling. Let's go. Heating. Junk drawer. Nothing will work with that content. Cannot compete like that. It is search. It is what are they looking for and where are they looking for it. If the pages are titled correctly and we build links to it, you can put any page sitting on page 1 of Google. If you're asking somebody to tell you, so let me see here, who is this? This is Device. So these guys started at 0. So I'm just showing you something after 2 months, all right? This is the phrase. This is the position. Over time, the more phrases in the more locations you rank on page 1, position 1 of Google for, if the average consumer goes where to find products, services, and companies, what happens to you? Get an opportunity. You're an option for the business. Make sense? Okay. So, these phrases. 1 page, 1 thought, 1 location. 1 page, 1 thought, 1 location. Now, what he doesn't have that he's in the process of getting is, let me see if I have this. Right here, you see, if you want to see what Google indexes on any site, all you do is put the word site, colon, and then you paste the website in the search, and you're going to see those pages. He has 404 index pages on Google. You see what's starting to pop up? Stars. He's in the process of getting his website rebuilt. Remember, he just went live 2 months ago. Rebuilt with Google Schema. It's that new and that important. Show you a site that has it completed. Michael, can I borrow you for a second, please? For power. I have it, but. So on this site, we have 455 index pages, residential heat and air. How long have they been live? 4 months. So you see on theirs, we have, think about the way that these pages are labeled. Furnace AC rebates and specials, furnace installation Minneapolis, furnace air conditioner warranty, air conditioning furnace savings rebates, tax credits. What time of the year is it? Tax time, okay? Air conditioner, asbestos removal, furnace AC financing, furnace replacement Minneapolis, furnace prices, furnace cleaning maintenance, furnace heating efficiency, furnace repair troubleshooting, converter boil to gas furnace, new furnace sales in Twin Cities, and we can keep going. They even have by brand all the way down. Every single one of these pages, you are awesome. Thank you. Is designed to put them in another drawer. I don't know what phrases are in their bucket, but we'll just go look. Curiosity. Oh, it's probably air conditioning time here. Let's see where they've climbed. There we go. So when you think about this page, these guys have been live for 4 months. Now we're probably not focused on optimizing for furnace repair right about now. All right, but there are 919,000 pages in that drawer, and this site is on page 2, number 6. So it's number 16 of 919,000 pages in 4 months. That's not bad, huh? All right, it'll continue to climb. So each one of these, just showing you different companies, these guys, when we first got them, they didn't exist online at all. Now sitting here, they have 109 phrases sitting on page 1, position 1 through 3, 30 phrases on page 1, position 4 through 10, 13 on 2, 6 on 3, and 2 on 5+. That's a good place to sit. This process, it is in the way that we think. When we sit down to have our strategy sessions, so we usually meet with our dealers during spring and fall because you guys just disappear during summer and winter. We can't find you. But when we sit down, it's your mind sits in 3 buckets. 1, what are we doing that's working? Let's do more of it. What are we doing that's not working? Let's allocate it to something that is. And what are we not doing yet that we should be doing? Let's pick one, prioritize it, and implement it and get moving. If we sit in this is a positive mindset. This is making progress. This is, getting it out there, getting some data, and then starting to make tweaks and continue to add more. If you add a page of content and it's optimized and it winds up moving up the page and your phone rings, do it again. Add another phrase, add another city. Make sense? Okay. So everything starts off with a SWOT analysis, which is what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are your opportunities, and what are your threats? Let me give you some threats. Okay, if I get a referral, let me think here. I don't want to pick on anybody here, and I'm trying to think who's legal to put up here. Okay, so I'll just use a good one and we'll leave it alone. Okay, yes, heating. If you get a referral, most likely somebody's going to go to Google. They're going to type in the name of your company, possibly the city, or the word reviews. That's what's going to happen. So one of the things you have to optimize and have to make sure looks good is if you go to Google and you type in the name of your company with the word reviews or the city, or just the name of your company, what does a consumer see? If they can't find you, they're not sure which one you are, if there's no good reviews, if there's negative reviews or there's no reviews, they're out. Those are all exit doors. Threats are exit doors. It's the things that will eliminate you making progress. Great example, I had a client, I beg, please, we need you to focus on reviews. Get this app, get it installed on your technicians' devices, and don't let them go on an appointment without coming home with a review. Unless the client's grumpy, then send them to a hotline. Okay, that's real. He did not listen. We wound up having him on page 1 of Google for over 200 phrases, and he was curious, how come people weren't calling? Well, they found him on Google, they Googled his company, they went there were 3 negative reviews on Google Business Listing. He had his hours set to close at 5 p.m. He didn't have his full address in there. Everything is wrong with that. If you're not open 24/7, your website should be. Is the average consumer free Monday through Friday 9 to 5 to handle their own personal list? They're not. Guys, these guys, they're busy. They're busy. If your website says Monday through Friday 9 to 5, if your Google business listing, if it's 6:01 or 5:01 and it says closed, open tomorrow, they're out. All you need is a scheduling system where someone can go to your site, click on a link, and they can pick a time to talk to you tomorrow at noon, 15-minute conversation. Just an online scheduler. You're open 24/7. We've even connected dealers that don't provide emergency service with spot cooling companies. You guys know what those are? Spot cooling is portable air conditioners. So we routed it so that somebody came to this site, and we told them, just test. We'll organize everything. But I promise you, this is a big deal. So we coordinated it to where when somebody came to the site after hours, it routed to a line, it routed to a form. The form went to our spot cooling company, Spot Coolers out of Dallas. They went over, they drove out, they installed a portable air conditioner in all of the rooms that needed it. The next morning, the company got up, called the client, scheduled time. The portable air conditioner sat there until they were ready to come out. Spot cooling company is happy. HVAC company got to schedule it around their schedule, didn't have to rush anybody. Client's happy, everybody's making money. We're now 24/7 and providing emergency cooling services without having to pay for staff. There's ways around everything. That make sense? All right. So, no exits. No exits. If I go through here, if we have negative reviews, if this is sitting at a 2, if this is sitting at a 2, if there's no other reviews on here, we have a problem, Houston. Literally. Okay. So we need to make sure that we are proactively making sure that our companies look good online. that we are represented well online so that we are not, you guys are Googling your companies. I love you for that. Good job, good job, good job, good job. All right, there is an app. We can have it installed on your phone. I'm going to show you. Let's go blue. Let's go to Chicago and let's go. Are you guys from Florida? Where Florida's in here? Okay. Let's go over there. Okay. Having content for the services that you sell, that's one thing. In addition to that, if you don't have a page of content per city that you function in, that you operate in, that you want to do business in, how is Google going to decipher the difference between your air conditioning services and someone else in another state or city? So you have to have content per city. So here's the easiest way to do this. We done? Time? Am I out of time? Am I out of time? You guys are supposed to keep track of me. I said I could talk for 8 days. So here's the easy part. You guys go on a job. You get, as soon as you get done with the job, you ask your customers for a review, send them a text message while you're in their house. We get a notice that you got a review and you checked in. We go on your website. We create a new page for that city. It has your check-in. It has the customer's review. It has a map. And you now have a page that can be filed in the new filing system for that city with new and frequent content being added by your consumers, not on your budget, every day. You have a permanent asset. This page will wind up over time. Remember, make it popular, link to it, send it to your social media accounts. This page over time will wind up generating you new business and your clients paid for the marketing for it. That's hot. Yeah? Okay. So I am out of time, but you guys have a couple things in front of you. You have a half sheet of paper. Fill that half sheet of paper out. Is this helpful? Yes? Hey, fantastic. So fill that half sheet of paper out. We will provide you guys, we're going to have our team back at the office run a series of reports. Your local listings, your website, your rankings, your overall website analysis, a grade. You're going to have a ton of different reports. It's about $500 in reports that we pull per person in this room. And we'll have someone from our team touch base with you to see if you want to set up a strategy session to review the reports and help prioritize the plan. We're an education-based company, you guys. It's not salesy. If you need our help, fantastic. We'd love to help you. Everything on that sheet in front of you, we do in-house with full-time staff members. If you want to take everything and learn back to your company and let them have it, knock yourself out. Either way, we're good. We just want to make sure you guys are set up, prepped, and ready to succeed and do what I assume you started your companies to do, which is create more time, money, and freedom. Was that the mission? Let's get there. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Don't forget the ebook. You guys can download an ebook right off the internet. Just text GPN to 44222. It's on that piece of paper that you have. And it's the Ultimate HVAC Marketing Guide. And you guys are awesome. And I need 8 more hours. Say that again? Oh, well, yeah, yours is a little different probably because is it a truck? Ford. No truck?